Hello and welcome to 5 Million Steps. Today I'm making an announcement that I will be hiking the Appalachian Trail in 2024 starting in late February. A lot of you may ask why. Well, quite a few years ago I picked up a book called AWOL on the Appalachian Trail, and it was a great book. Um, AWOL was an IT person, kind of like I was. Quit his job, hiked the Appalachian Trail, met many marvelous, wonderful people along the trail, stayed at awesome places, saw amazing sights, and detailed that greatly in his book. And ever since I picked up that book, I've wanted to hike the Appalachian Trail. So, why now? Well, I am in between jobs. We have moved, and I was going to wait until my kids were graduated from high school before I started. This last year, I realized that I'm not getting any younger, so uh, my body may or may not hold out another 10 years. I'm in between jobs. I've got an awesome wife. Uh, she's encouraged me the last several years to go on this trip every spring. I feel the calling to the trail. I don't know how to explain it, but it's calling to me. I need to go. So she's been encouraging me to do this, and now seems to be as good a time as any to go. I'm not getting any younger. My body's not getting any better. So while I can, I should go. Is what we've decided. It was a mutual decision between my wife and I. Um, it will, I will be missing a lot of stuff in the 5 to 7 months that I'll be gone. I will probably regret not being here for a lot of that stuff, but the adventure of the trail is going to be amazing. And luckily, I offered for all of my kids to come with me if they wanted to after school got out. One of them decided yes, he will. The other two doesn't seem to be for them. So one of them will be joining me partway through the trip from around the end of May until probably the finish, or he has to go back to school. Um, I do have a time constraint, sort of. We do have a vacation that we had already scheduled in late July. Um, if I get done with the trail before that, that'd be great. If not, um, I will have to take some time off the trail for our family vacation. But at this point, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about getting out there and getting started. Who knows how far I'll make it. They say 20% of the people who start out attempting a through hike finish the through hike. Um, I would like to believe that I could be one of them that can start out and finish. Um, but who knows? Who knows what could happen out there? Um, so, as many of you know, I'm hiking the trail. Uh, but a lot of friends and family I haven't told that I'm going to be doing YouTube videos daily for anybody that wants to follow along. Should be some absolutely amazing views. Hopefully, get some personal interaction out there. Let you see what trail life is all about. Because I'm ecstatic about it. I want to talk to everybody about my hike before I even hike it all the time. Um, I've been threatened to put up instead of a swear jar, if you talk about the Appalachian Trail jar when nobody wants to hear about it, I have to put $1 in the jar. Well, they haven't done that, but that'd be funny. Anyway, um, so a little bit about the trail itself. It is 2,197.4 miles long this year. Um, It passes through 14 states. I'll be starting in Georgia and going northbound, Nobo to Maine. During that, it climbs the equivalent of Mount Everest from sea level to summit 16 times, so a lot of elevation gain and loss over the course of that trek. I have talked to gentlemen that work at REI and other outfitters and from Colorado, and they've said, why don't you just hike the Colorado Trail? It's a lot easier. You hit one elevation and it's not as difficult as the Appalachian Trail. Well, I've got my mindset on the Appalachian Trail. It's just, I've heard it called the Disneyland of trails, mainly because of the conveniences along the trail. I can get off every few days and do a resupply if I needed to. There are hostels and shuttles and so many conveniences that someone new like me can take advantage of. I have in the past hiked some overnight trips with my sons at Philmont Scout Ranch. You probably maybe see it on my hat. We've done a couple treks out there, some overnight, multi-night trips. I think one was a 7-day trek and the other was a 12-day trek. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the first one was a 10-day. I can't remember for sure. But both of those trips were amazing. They go through the mountains of New Mexico. Just amazing experience. But that's the extent of my multi-day hiking. It's just a week or two at a time. I've never done an ultra long trail like this, but I'm excited about it. It's going to be awesome. One neat thing about the trail is everybody gets I think everybody gets a trail name that's given to you by the other people that you're hiking around. Has to do with your nuances or your size or what you wear, or could be anything. Where you're from. I could be called Toto. I hope not. That's not a good name. Just because I'm from Kansas and I won't be in Kansas anymore. That was bad. All right. So, what will I eat out of the trail? I've been preparing food in my freeze dryer for for several years now. I've got lots of meals saved up. My wife can support me by sending food to resupply or to hostels or post offices along the way. But most of the time I'll be stopping at gas stations, grocery stores, Dollar Generals to pick up some resupply items there. I'll be burning an extreme amount of calories every day because I'll be walking a lot. Especially I'll be walking up and down hills and mountains, I guess I should call them. But I'll be burning a lot of calories. So what I can carry on my back, I won't be able to fulfill the calorie need that I have. So I'll be eating when I go through towns or stop at towns to resupply as much as I possibly can. And that's my favorite thing about this trip is the videos that I saw when people post the food that they eat, and I'm like, I'm a foodie. I want to eat and eat and eat, and I love different foods. So when I get to town, I'm going to be wanting to go to town to eat all the time. But on the trail, I'll probably be eating things like nor rice, Cliff Bars, pouches of chicken, anything with a lot of protein and calories in it. Junk food galore, candy, who knows. Whatever I can find at the resupply points to resupply with. I'm going to try not to make it anything a regular item. As I go along, try to switch up what I'm eating for each section that I do. So some stuff I may really like, and then I'll probably burn myself out on it. So I'm going to try not to eat it over and over and over again. Uh, so where I'll sleep, I'm taking a tent, a 2-man tent, backpacking tent. Um, there are shelters every probably 7 to 10 miles along the trail. They're 3-sided shelters that have solid floor in them. Uh, there's also campsites nearby those shelters, and you can camp a lot of places away from the shelters along the trail as well. At some point, I may want to stay in the shelters to start out with. I prefer to stay in my tent. The shelters, I hear, have a lot of mice, rodents, and they can run across you at night while you're sleeping or tear into your equipment. And I've spent a lot of money on my equipment to try to stay warm out on the trail, especially starting out. I don't want the mice to damage that equipment. Equipment may get damaged along the way. Probably will. I'll probably be changing out equipment as I go. But starting out, I'd prefer to try to keep my equipment as functional as possible. So a lot of people have asked me about bears and are concerned about the bears on the trail. In Philmont, we had bears all around us there. From Georgia to Maine, there's black bears, and there are up to 300,000 people that visit the trail every year. The bears know that, and they are pretty scared of people. What they're after is your food. So as long as I'm bear aware, and we learned that in Philmont, as long as you're bear aware, keep your food away from your camp, and cook away from where you're sleeping, stuff like that, the bears pretty much will leave you alone. If you encounter a bear, he'd make a lot of noise. They said in Philmont, if you sing happy birthday at the top of your lungs, the bears will run away. I would assume that will work out on the East Coast as well. I'm not too concerned about the bears. Not as concerned as a lot of people have been when they've talked to me. So, sure, turn a corner and startle a bear or walk between a mama bear and her cub, you get in a little trouble. But as long as you're aware, I should be okay. There's snakes and insects and rocks and a lot of steep climbing. All that stuff is a fear of mine. Maybe even the first few nights on the trail if I'm alone. When it gets dark, my mind starts racing. Whose doesn't? All that stuff's a little scary, but just part of it. And I'm excited. I'm excited for it all. Walking in the rain, even when it's freezing cold. Embrace the suck. That's what I told a lot of my cross country runners. You got to embrace the suck. You might not like it at the time, but you'll look back at it and say, "Oh man, I did that. That's awesome." So it's all stuff I'm looking forward to. So glad to have a chance to share a little bit of my preconceived thoughts of the trail. I'm sure what I'm thinking the trail is going to be like and what the trail's like is completely different. So who knows? Who knows what it'll be? I've watched a lot of videos. I've read a lot of books. But to experience it firsthand, it's going to be completely different. I'm excited, and I hope if you follow along with me on this journey, I hope you enjoy some of the things I get to see, and just enjoy the videos. So I know I muddled through this a little bit, but look forward to seeing you out on the trail. Thanks.